electricity tonight. I know there are some major backups just getting to this area. Took a good while to get here from San Francisco. Now, I do want to take a live look right now of this command center. You can see all of the officials on scene. I just talked with a deputy minutes ago who told me he is working to get us more information, and specifically working to get us information on the condition of those 3 people who were on board. I can tell you, I saw a car come in here a little while ago, and the people in the back seat were very concerned about the situation, at least had that look of concern on their face. Now, as we get new details in this case, we will bring it to you here on ABC7. Reporting live in Solano County, J.R. Stone, ABC7 News.
Okay, JR, thank you. We will continue to check with you this evening. And now to a large protest that has been going on for well over an hour in downtown Redwood City as you look from Sky 7 Live. This is a live look which is over the crowd that's gathered near City Hall. You do see some windows that have been boarded up, but like many of the protests we have seen today around the Bay Area, this one has been peaceful as well.
And this is another one of the peaceful protests we saw. This is a march in Fremont. A group started at New Park Mall in Newark and then went down Mallory Avenue to Fremont Police Headquarters, where they held a rally.
Protesters held up their fists in solidarity in Marin City this afternoon. The peaceful protests included speakers like Tupac Shakur's sister, Set Shakur. In San Francisco, hundreds of people marched along the Great Highway early this afternoon. The Sunset Solidarity March began at Sloat, taking protesters up to Lincoln.
Oo, sa may likuran namin yan.
Preparing for an 8 p.m. curfew again tonight after an evening of looting, an officer-involved shooting, and someone setting fire inside City Hall. ABC7 News I-Team reporter Melanie Woodrow broke that part of the story earlier today. Vallejo Police Chief Shawnee Williams describing a night of violence and looting.
In 27 years of service, I've never experienced anything like what I experienced last night in the city of Vallejo. This was a coordinated attack by organized individuals seeking to cause destruction and harm to our community.
Vallejo Mayor Bob Sampayan says someone broke into City Hall through a window early this morning and attempted to set a fire. The sprinklers significantly damaged the first floor Human Resources Department. The mayor also says many local businesses were looted.
I understand and I believe in the public's right of protest, of expressing your First Amendment rights about the heinous murder of George Floyd. But when it comes to the destruction of private and public property, I don't understand how that brings about the change that people are asking for.
One of the calls police got overnight was for a looting at a Walgreens on the 1000 block of Redwood Street. The Vallejo Police Department says it is investigating an officer-involved shooting in connection with that looting, but would not give any additional information today, including the condition of the individual shot by police.
I know this person was transported to the hospital, but I don't know the person's condition. Whatever happened will be fully reported, that will be open and transparent.
Pastor Don Roginski is calling for that transparency now.
I understand that investigations have to happen.
Roginski served on a community panel last year that interviewed police chief candidates and helped choose Chief Shawnee Williams.
We need to trust our police, and if we feel that we're not getting very much information, then the trust is not going to be built.
We as the city of Vallejo, which is one of the most diverse communities in the nation, hear the voices of those that are in distress. What is sad is a lot of those voices are being drowned out by those who are perpetrating these acts of violence.
The Solano County District Attorney's Office and the Vallejo Police Department's Detective Division are conducting a joint criminal investigation of the officer-involved shooting. The case is being monitored by the Vallejo Police Department's Professional Standards Unit. In the newsroom for the IT, Melanie Woodrow, ABC7 News.
Hey, Melanie, thank you very much. Life in the East Bay suburbs has changed dramatically in the last few days, with more communities adding unprecedented curfews. ABC7 News reporter Leslie Brinkley looks at the impact the looting and the subsequent curfews are having on businesses.
Boarded up windows. Tear gas. Curfews.
It's all unfamiliar territory for East Bay cities like Walnut Creek, Lafayette, Orinda, and Danville after Sunday's shocking round of looting.
There were some violent encounters. A man told me how he rushed down here during the looting to barricade the entrance to this parking garage to keep people from rushing inside, maybe throwing things off the upper level. He said two men rushed him. One punched him in the back. The other took his cell phone, smashed it, and then stole it.
Not supposed to happen anywhere. It's a bunch of crap that these thieves and thugs come out when there's legitimate protests going on. The COVID virus was bad enough. Now we add this.
Ironically, today, the Contra Costa County Health Department announced small retail stores can reopen tomorrow. Many businesses spent upward of $1,000, money they don't have to spare, to board up windows.
It's pretty much like what punch next?
This restaurant owner says he's been forced to send employees home early as he stands guard over his business. There was the fear of COVID, and now the fear of looting.
I feel like there's decreased traffic to Walnut Creek. I feel like people are nervous. They could get trapped on the freeway or trapped in town with streets blocked off, and that impacts the business tremendously.
Businesses hope this isn't the last straw.
I hope it's a brief setback. I think that many of them for sure are just, barely hanging on.
Walnut Creek today changed their curfew to 8 p.m., the same curfew imposed in Lafayette and Orinda that allows dinner time takeout service. Also, the Contra Costa County Board of Supervisors voted to impose an emergency curfew county-wide, effective immediately from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. I'm Leslie Brinkley, ABC7 News.
New curfew orders were announced today around the Bay Area. This map shows you the cities and the counties affected, along with the times. Contra Costa County's curfew goes from 8 o'clock in the evening to 5 in the morning, just like San Francisco and Alameda counties. The new curfew in San Mateo County runs from 8:30 until 5 a.m., same as Palo Alto and San Jose. The Sonoma County town of Windsor also has a new curfew. That takes effect at 9 o'clock tonight until 5 a.m. A couple more that you don't see on that map. Vallejo's curfew runs from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. So does the city of American Canyon in Napa County, as well as some unincorporated parts of Napa County.
Are the latest restrictions infringing upon our First Amendment rights? ABC7 News reporter Stephanie Sierra spoke with protesters who were recently arrested. Stephanie.
Well, protesters arrested shortly after the curfew was enforced in San Jose are not just upset about the lack of warning, but what they consider a violation of their First Amendment rights. Mandated curfews enforced across most of the Bay Area. An unprecedented response to handle violent protests. When have we ever seen this before? Protesters like Alex Lee, pictured here, are now asking that question after his arrest in San Jose Sunday night.
The police had rolled up onto the curb in their police SUV without warning. They didn't say, hey, get the hell out of here, curfew's in effect. They just said, they stepped up to me and they said, hey, can I talk to you? And then grabbed me and said, you're under arrest.
Lee says he didn't know about the mandatory curfew that went into effect Sunday at 8 p.m. But he describes his arrest as abrupt and aggressive.
And we were trying to explain what we were doing. We weren't doing anything wrong, but they wouldn't have it. They just said, you're out here. There are no exceptions. You're being arrested.
The ACLU of Northern California has called for an end to these curfews across the state, criticizing this is the wrong way to handle disruptions to what have been otherwise peaceful protests.
I'm very frustrated that this curfew is used as an excuse to arrest protesters and repress freedom of expression.
According to Lee, the protest he attended Sunday night was peaceful.
When I was in the back of the police wagon with my hands zip tied behind my back, another man was thrown in there and he was just watching what was happening from his doorstep, his apartment on 4th Street. He had just walked out to see I was being arrested and they arrested him.
These arrests come as the San Francisco Board of Supervisors announced a resolution that will prohibit hiring any police officers with a history of misconduct. San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin says there's a need for statewide policy.
When we give police officers a gun and a badge and the power to arrest and the power to use force, it is essential that we vet those individuals and that we hold them to the highest standards. And this legislation is a step towards doing just that.
Now, we asked the San Francisco DA's office if any protesters violating the curfew, if they'll be charged, and we were told it is possible, and they'll be reviewing each case carefully.
Stephanie, any numbers? I mean, do we know how many people have actually been arrested for violating these curfew orders across the Bay Area?
Yes, Alma, we're looking into those numbers as we speak, and here's what we know so far. 122 people have been arrested for 382 felony crimes. This is ranging from looting and violence to burglaries and stolen cars. This is all in Alameda County. And of the 122 people, more than 80 were not from cities in Alameda County. Now, 60 people were arrested in Oakland last night. Police say they were a tiny portion of the group remaining after a peaceful demonstration that drew 15,000 people to Oakland Tech. No arrests have been made in Orinda and Santa Clara, but I do want to point out just minutes ago, San Francisco police told us there have been 46 arrests for looting, 15 of which were residents, plus 13 citations. And as far as curfew violations, there have been 87 arrests, half of which were residents. We'll keep a close eye on this as we learn more. Stephanie Sierra, ABC7 News.
All right, Stephanie, thank you for that.